Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's making some serious waves, really generating a ton of buzz lately.
Mhm.
I'm talking about the launch of Trump Mobile. You've probably seen the headlines, maybe the social media stuff flying around, and you might be thinking, okay, hold on. What exactly is Trump Mobile? And this T1 phone, what's it all about?
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to do today. Our mission really is to kind of peel back those layers, look beyond the big announcements. What did they actually say? What does the phone offer? How does it operate behind the scenes? And maybe most importantly, what's the rest of the industry saying about it? We really want to give you the full picture.
Right, the full picture. Yeah, which seems particularly needed here, given how much talk, how speculation has been already. So, okay, let's dive straight into the core announcement. It was, well, quite the event. June 16th, 2025, the Trump Organization, specifically Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump were there leading the charge. They officially unveiled Trump Mobile and this very flashy gold-colored T1 phone right there at Trump Tower. Now, for those of you who is interested in the tech side, the T1 phone is priced at $499. It's running Android 15. And the specs, well, they're pretty solid for that mid to high range, a big 6.8-inch screen, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, 50 megapixel camera system, decent 5,000 mAh battery, stuff like that. And they're saying it should start shipping around August, maybe September. Okay, well, that's the hardware. Then there's the service plan, just one option called the 47 plan. Costs $47.45 a month. And that number, $47.45, clearly symbolic, right? Linking to Trump's 45th presidency and, well, the idea of a 47th. So what do you get for that? The plan itself includes unlimited talk and text and 5G data.
Though it's important to note, like with many unlimited plans, there's a catch. After 20 gigabytes of high-speed data, speeds could slow way down. But, and this is where it gets kind of interesting, it also throws in free international calling and texting to over 100 countries, plus military bases, and telemedicine services, roadside assistance, and they promise U.S.-based call centers.
Yeah, those extras are what really jump out. Telemedicine, roadside assistance. That's not standard fare for a mobile plan, especially not an MVNO. It feels very strategic. Like they're trying hard to differentiate themselves in what's already a really crowded market. What's fascinating here is how these add-ons try to build a specific kind of value.
That's a good point. But do you think those kinds of extras, like telemedicine, really move the needle in the big picture? Or is it more about, appealing to a very specific group, their base?
Oh, it's definitely aimed at a niche, no question. Look, in a market with giants like Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, these features alone aren't going to completely shake things up industry-wide.
Yeah.
But for their target customer, it could sweeten the deal considerably. It makes it feel like more than just a phone plan, maybe more of a lifestyle package, leveraging that existing loyalty, perhaps, offering something that feels, I don't know, more complete.
Right. Okay, so that's the phone, the pretty comprehensive plan. But the real core here, the thing that defines it, and maybe where the most tension lies, it's the branding. This America First message is front and center. They're billing it as designed and built in the United States, and positioning it as this, patriotic choice compared to the big global players like Apple or Samsung. And here's where it gets really interesting, isn't it? How does that America First claim actually stack up against, well, reality? Because you've got publications like Wired, Tom's Guide already digging in, and they're raising some serious questions. Their main points seem to be, one, the images look like renders, not actual photos of a finished product. And two, maybe more importantly, they're saying there probably isn't a U.S. manufacturing setup ready to actually build and ship a $499 phone by August. That seems ambitious.
Yeah, ambitious is one word for it. And this really raises a key question for anyone trying to get what's going on. You have to understand the model. Trump Mobile is operating as an MVNO. That's a mobile virtual network operator. What that actually means is the Trump Organization, technically DTTM Operations LLC, they haven't built their own cell towers and network. They've essentially licensed the Trump Mobile brand and the trademarks to someone else, probably Liberty Mobile Wireless. And that company, Liberty, then buys wholesale access to use the existing networks, the big ones, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. So when you hear designed and built in the United States, you have to filter it through that reality. They don't own the physical infrastructure. And the phones themselves, likely sourced globally, like almost all smartphones are, especially at that price point. The designed part might be true to some extent, but built, that's the sticking point. Oh, something else about MVNOs. It's pretty common for network traffic from MVNO customers to get lower priority than direct carrier customers, especially when the network's busy. So your data speeds might not always be top tier. Just something to keep in mind.
Okay, that MVNO distinction is absolutely critical. Understanding they're essentially licensing the brand and using existing networks. Given that, it's maybe not so surprising how the wider telecom industry seems to be reacting. From what we're seeing, Analysts aren't really viewing Trump Mobile as a serious threat to the established players. It seems to be seen more as symbolic, right? A political statement, a business branding exercise, rather than a genuine network disruptor. And it seems the ambition goes beyond just the phone and the monthly plan, too. You mentioned the trademarks DTTM Operations LLC filed for protection not just for the phone and the service itself, but also for things like phone accessories, maybe even retail stores someday. All under the Trump and T1 brands.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's less about the tech, maybe, and more about, well, political identity as a consumer product. It's fascinating. The MVNO model is kind of perfect for this, isn't it? It lets them extend the brand into this tech space with relatively low infrastructure investment, low risk. You're essentially turning political affinity directly into recurring subscription revenue. It almost makes you wonder, are we seeing a new kind of thing here? Where the brand itself is the main product, loyalty is the selling point, almost irrespective of the underlying service or hardware specifics. And yeah, the industry concerns are definitely there. Lack of clarity on manufacturing, the actual network experience versus direct carrier customers. And just, can a new brand, any new brand, really survive long term in this incredibly tough telecom market?
So if we boil it down, we've got these two narratives running side by side. On one hand, yeah, it's a bold move, leveraging that strong patriotic message, packing the plan with extras, trying to create value. And on the other hand, you've got this deep skepticism from the industry watchers. They're questioning the Made in America claims, the operational details, and just the basic viability in such a cutthroat market.
Precisely. It really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? Is this a genuine attempt to carve out a lasting piece of the telecom pie, find a profitable niche? Or is Trump Mobile ultimately more of a statement piece, a really potent symbol, maybe even a new way for political brands to connect with and monetize their base using everyday technology? It definitely makes you think about all the different angles at play when something this high profile launches. What does it signal beyond just another phone hitting the market?